Welcome to this episode of Blended, Blessed, and Always a Mess. I'm Aric.
And I'm Angie.
We are married with a ton of kids.
We have 6 kids total. He has 3 and I have 3.
My name's Hallie and I love riding horses.
I'm Lexi and I love agriculture.
My name's Carter and I love eating.
My name's Chase and I love lifting weights.
My name's Summer and I love spending my parents' money.
I'm Dane and I love baseball.
Our show is about our blended, blessed, and always a mess life. And our hope is if you find yourself in the same situation we are in, that by sharing our story, all the fun and all the mess, the challenges we are experiencing, it will give you some inspirations, laughs, and community, knowing you are not alone in this mess.
We appreciate you spending time with us. Let's dive in.
This episode of Blended, Blessed, and Always a Mess is sponsored by the children's book Feathers Matter. As our kids grow up, they face challenges in their life, and knowing their self-worth and their value is crucial to face the headwinds. Purchase this beautiful story to read to your kids and grandkids and start the conversation with them at a young age. They are worthy, they matter, and their feathers matter. You can find the link to order on our blendedblessedalwaysamess.com page. Mention code #blessed for an autographed copy. Welcome to this week's episode of Blended, Blessed, and Always a Mess. Angie's back.
I'm back.
Woo! Talent's here.
I thought I was going to get attacked when I walked into the door.
Yeah, the kids get you.
No. Yeah, I wish.
The dog.
Kind of like a dog. Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little attack mode.
I don't understand. I thought that it would be well received for a husband to miss his wife.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
I felt like I really didn't hug her that much when she came in. I waited till she
No, I was exhausted.
Thank you.
It was the next day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I am
See
back.
what I'm dealing with, people, guys? I'm over
Poor
here.
guy. Don't you guys feel sorry for him?
Trying to care and love and desire my wife in all aspects of life, friendship and all the things. And she's like a dog. We're just sitting there.
Just like a dog.
I mean,
you actually were the one that was using that analogy.
Well, I'm not a
Let's
cat.
Be honest.
I'm not a cat that's ignoring
You're like,
you when
I
you come in.
feel like a puppy dog waiting for you to come home. Yeah, okay, that's creepy.
She's here. She's here.
That's creepy, yeah.
So, hey, I'm potty trained.
I
okay?
was gone last weekend. I had this amazing opportunity to plan a women's event with my great friend, Jen Logan Bill, and
She's been on the podcast.
Yeah, she's been on the podcast. You guys have heard me talk about Jen's Get Fit. If you don't know about it, definitely go check it out. It's an affordable at-home workout program that's super effective. It's 27 minutes a day. But what you get with that is this amazing sisterhood of ladies who lift each other up and support each other. And that part is really beautiful. And Jen built that. And so definitely try it out. If you're curious, just sign up for a month. It's like $30. Because I have never stuck to a workout program in my entire life until JGFG. And Jen's the reason why so many people join and then also stay, because she's definitely a powerhouse, inspiring so many people, but also feels like the girl next door. So it was awesome to partner up with her on it. We have the very similar mission and motives around same passion, same fierceness, same energy, same like don't quit type of attitude. And we kind of have this unique relationship where nothing really needs to be said. We just know it about each other. We see each other because we were wired the same way. So when she asked me to put together my thoughts and ideas around this powerful event and help create the vision for it, I mean, it was just like a no-brainer. I'm like, okay, let's go.
I just remember when you were like, hey, I'm having lunch with Jen. She wants to talk about something. And then you came out of that lunch and you were it was like, with everything that has happened over the past 14 months, a lot of rough days. And you came out of that like super energized and excited about something for the first time in a while. And I just remember that energy that you had when you left the lunch that day.
That's when you know that that's your thing, is when you could be at the like lowest of lows and the dark times, right? But there's something that pulls you out of it and gets you kind of excited about life. Obviously the no-brainer with my family and kids do that. But like on top of
worried there, no.
On top of like the no-brainers, like what are those additional things? definitely gave me a different focus and energy. And the results when two women come together to create space for connection and empowerment is cups were filled. It was soul lifting and hearts left really full. And I'm not going to dive into the details of the event because that's Jen's place on her podcast. So if you want to learn more about that, go listen to Mind to Muscle. But I will share one of my favorite moments later that really made my broken heart beat. But what I want to say is that Hallie was so present during this event in so many ways. Like, it was supposed to rain.
Yeah,
it always rains in Florida. But like, this was like 70% chance most of the
I thought
weekend,
it was
honestly.
100%. So I kept following the trends of weather for Angie leading up to the event, and then coming in and saying, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a chance it won't rain here. And you had outdoor activities planned for these women. And so it was a big deal. And Hallie kept showing up, and we talked about it over and over again. And I thought it would be cool because Hallie does keep giving Mama Ange, Mama Bear, Mama Bird, whatever you want to be in that moment, plenty of signs. So as you were down on this event, helping other women, which Hallie knew that you loved, how were different things happening so that you knew she was there?
Well, Friday evening was the only time we had an outdoor event planned, and I really wanted to do it. I knew that the experience would be a great way for the women to connect. And so I was just like, okay, I really want this to happen, but the rain looks terrible. So
100%
it's like,
chance.
okay, what's plan B? And then you also have to just know that you're not in control. So although I wanted it to happen, I also tried not to stress about it either. So it was supposed to rain all day Friday. It never rained Friday. We were doing a bonfire on the beach, and right whenever it was really supposed to rain. So it kept pushing the rain, and then it was supposed to rain right when we were doing the bonfire on the beach. And we had the same guy that ran our bonfire that we did as a family when we had that epic sunset.
So just in the last month, he would remember you.
Oh, he remembered me.
Yeah.
He remembered me. And he walked up to me, gave me a big hug, but he's like, God must love you because there was no rain. And I said, oh, I know he does. And I also have someone up there in heaven that loves me too. And so he was the sweetest guy, absolute doll. He's from Israel. And we kind of were chatting later. And I said, my daughter's in heaven. I feel like she is in control of the rain and that epic sunset that we had the last time, her and God. And he gave me a big hug and was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He's like, my sister just lost her 20-year-old daughter who was gunned down in the streets of Gaza. And he's like, I'm super worried about her because she's not doing well. It's like, yes, I know it's the worst possible pain that you can imagine. And I just said, you have my cell phone number, give it to your sister in Israel. And she can text me. I'm another mom that knows what it's like to lose a child to such brutal way of being shot. There's something about the power of human connection that just keeps coming back to me about that's why we're here. We're here to connect in ways that I see you, I know what you're going through, I support you type of thing. And that is so powerful.
I think what we have heard over and over again since Hallie passed is from friends that we knew and even friends we didn't know of how she would connect with them and show up for her. And so I feel like in this time of grief and loss, we are learning more about the human connection and what that does and what that can do. And I think that Hallie herself shows up regularly in the moments when the human connection's happening. Is that fair to say, maybe?
Totally. I mean, even throughout the weekend, there were several times where, it was deep conversation and meaningful conversation the entire weekend. But there were several times where Jesse and I were talking, or Jen and Jesse were talking, and the lights would flicker. And every time it's just like, oh, hi, Hal. It's not like the lights flickered all the time, but in moments where you're having powerful conversations, or she just wanted to remind us that she's there, it just was like, okay, hey,
Yeah.
I see you.
And she loves her Aunt Jessie so much that it makes plenty of sense to me that she would pop in when Jessie was having deep conversation. And as we know from many people, like lights flickering is one of the ways that Hallie does make sure that she reaches out and connects with us from
light
heaven.
energy.
Yeah. She gives us light energy. So that's really cool. And then, part of your job this weekend was to plan it all out, make sure that the ladies had things to do. So
I had the entire weekend mapped out of just experiences that would enable that meaningful connection. And Sunday, kind of get into one of my favorite moments of the whole weekend. It was amazing and filled my cup just as much as it filled the cups of the ladies that were able to be rewarded this retreat, this recharge type of retreat. But Sunday afternoon, we had a photo shoot for the women, and our intentions around that is like most women are probably behind the camera. They don't focus on themselves as much. They're not doing a photo shoot of them.
Sometimes they got kids running everywhere.
Photo shoot most of the time that you've made sure everybody else is ready and you're like the last person that gets ready. And so we pampered them with massages, facials. Jessie did everybody's hair and helped with makeup. And then we had this photo shoot, and just women don't make enough time for themselves and to take a moment to just stop and appreciate like who they are, what their body has given to them, done for them, carried them, appreciating every shape and size that you are and how really beautiful women are. And come together and lift each other up was amazing. But the best part of it was doing the photo shoots, and they one by one get behind the camera and, kind of not confident because the spotlight's on them and they're not used to that, getting out of their comfort zone.
I get that. I hate it when that happens.
Right. Not everybody loves the camera as much as Aric does. And then it's like you just watch them get more confident. And then even after photos were snapped, and the photographer, who was also an amazing human. So if you are ever in 30A area and you want to do family photo shoot or whatever type of photo shoot you want to do, Ultimate Production Company, rock solid, beautiful humans. And they would see pictures of themselves in the camera, she'd show them, and they were like, oh my God, like that's me. Oh, and one lady cool. Even like teared up, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I sat there for hours and watched them, and that made my heart smile to see women feel more empowered, take time for themselves. It's just beautiful. And yeah, that made my broken heart beat a little bit more.
So I love that for you. And in that process, you got to know women just a little bit more as you watched and maybe found some gratitude.
Oh my gosh. So much gratitude because I was there. So much probably had to happen for everybody to cross paths and for this all to come together. But it also, there was parts of me that was really sad too, because I would have given anything for Hallie to have been surrounded with women like that for a long period of time, thinking that it maybe would have changed who she surrounded herself with. But I also can't go there either because that's also in the past. And so just witnessing like the gratitude of being there, because there's nothing more powerful than women coming together. Nothing. Hands down. I don't think anybody could convince me otherwise that there's this energy and vibe when women come together. And I wish Hallie would have experienced that.
And I think what we're trying to say is like she had wonderful friends, but she was never able to have a group of friends at one time.
No,
right?
Because if you're in a relationship with someone who is narcissistic, they pull you away from that. They do not want you to be connected to other women like that because it is powerful. And you could feel powerful and know your own strength and know that you might need to be around different people. So watch out for that. I'm kind of fired up tonight, so
feeling
that might go off script. But
I never hate it when she goes off script.
If you're in a relationship where you are not allowed to be surrounded by women, then watch out. That's not good. It's good for our souls as women to be connected with other women. It doesn't mean that you can't have a healthy relationship with your husband, but women need that. We thrive on that, knowing that we're not alone because we're Or complex humans.
What? That doesn't make sense.
Shocker, right? So the crazy thing about the photo shoot was we had this time blocked and I had everybody wrapping at 6:30. But people were kind of coming in and out for photo shoots and doing like, hey, let's do this group photo shoot and just kind of winging it a little bit. So I wasn't like super controlling of the schedule. And we had music going, even brought in a fan. There's something about a fan blowing on you.
I saw those pictures, like the fan was going.
It gives you a big boost of confidence. Like, hello, fan's blowing on me.
I will say this. I've seen some of my wife's pictures, and she was as gorgeous as I could ever imagine. Like, not just the normal 10 out of 10. She was a 15 out of 10.
Also why he was like a dog waiting for me to get home.
Yeah, I mean, she bought all these new clothes, and she's like dressed in them. And
it was one outfit. Okay, I will share a picture of this outfit later, but it was a cute sequin strapless top from Amazon that was like $20.
Hottest outfit I've ever seen.
Cute pants from Target that were like $28. And you would have thought, according to my husband, this looked like a $5,000 outfit.
She belonged in Hollywood. My goodness. So yeah, I was ready for you to come home and excited. I'm excited to go on a date where she wears that for me. I've asked her. We have a trip planned in about a month or so.
I have a trip planned for you for your birthday.
And I said, could you take that, please? On the trip for us to go to dinner. I would enjoy that very much.
Like a dog.
I mean, we're going to do one episode at some point where we're asking women like, hey, does your husband pay attention to you? And they're like, no, he just sits on the couch and he drinks beer and he doesn't do anything. Be careful
what you wish for, ladies.
And then we've got this where it's like, it's too much. Okay, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, back to my...
You finish the podcast. I'm going to go to the grocery store and just buy junk food and beer and call it a day. I don't know. Anyway, back to wrapping it up.
I had the time block for the photo shoot to wrap up at 6:30. And like I said, I was not controlling the schedule. And literally the last photo was taken. And I looked down and it is 6:29. I kid you not. And the song that was playing on the speakers was Post Malone's Sunflower. Like if that doesn't seal it for you. I mean... Of all the different things and the different pictures that we had taken and we added in a bunch and it was just everybody's flowing in and out. And it's 6:29. Hallie knows that I love to finish on time. I love pulling into a place that I'm driving to and pull in right on time. Like, I don't know what it is.
She loves to pull in 12 minutes early. Don't let her tell you that.
No, but like when I know I want to be there and I pull in right around that time, like, yes, I got it going on with my ETAs. And then to have Sunflower playing, it's like, oh my God, I know Hallie's with me. It definitely filled my cup because I shared this with several people. Like it allows me to give that love that I have for Hallie. And when she's not physically here, that I can give it to other women. And so it was a beautiful trip.
And I had asked her, I said, I'm glad to see you have some joy. I can see it in one of the pictures. I can see some joy. And she said, I love bringing joy to other women. It does hurt me that I can't give that to Hallie. Mm-hmm. So it's like, even when she's having those moments of joy, there's still the incredible grief that we talk about all the time.
Yeah. So that's another takeaway too. Just because people smile, just because they find moments in life that are joyful does not mean that pain ever goes away. It's not going to. And I share that with other mamas that are new to any type of grieving is that I think when it gets really, really hard is when people think that that's going to go away and it hasn't. And it's like, that's not it. It's figuring out how do you move forward with that because it's not going away and finding a place for it to live in you.
So then you took the ladies to one of our favorite spots near Hallie's house for dinner that we go to regularly now that we have a home there. Mimo's Italian restaurant. It's about a mile from the house and it's unbelievable. The atmosphere is great. The food is to die for. And so you took the ladies there. The conversation there was good, and it posed a really interesting question for you.
Yeah, I actually had Jen ask me. I had someone ask me this the other day and said, how come you think that Angie gets so many signs from Hallie? And I'm like, oh, gosh.
Great question.
That is a great question. I would say all of my family and friends, too, also are kind of in awe of everything that does happen because we also have never experienced anything like that. But I really had to think about it of why I don't have the answers. I really don't. But here's what I can tell you, what I know about me is that I 100% believe that Hallie's in heaven. Like I do not doubt it. I know that she is still connected with us somehow. I know that she's there. I just have this deep belief and a knowing, and there's just no way. There's no way in hell that it's just like poof and you're gone and you're never going to be connected to anyone again. There's just no way. I'm sorry. We are so complex built.
Wired for connection.
Wired for connection. It's all these amazing things that happen to us all the time. The earth that we live on, the beautiful, even just looking at the ocean, like, okay, somebody created that. I mean, just not just so happenstance that we're just living here and then all of a sudden you're gone. There's no way. So I just don't believe that. So that's number one. I have a deep knowing and belief that Hallie's in heaven. The other thing that I would say that's game changing for me is I read the Signs book, and it helped me open my eyes in a different way to view death. Because I want to learn, and I've never experienced this before. I have no idea what this journey is like. So I want to learn more and open my mind to what that is. And so that book has helped me solidify, I would say, that our souls live forever and that they're still with us. And I received many signs from her immediately. So the book was more of a reassurance. So if you're not really sure and you're like, is that a sign? Is that not a sign? I don't know. Go read the book. Like, just read the book. You won't be able to put it down. I would say another aspect is I'm open to them. I look for signs. I pay attention to how I feel, and I'm deeply connected to my emotions, good or bad. I'm deeply connected to my emotions and to those around me. And so I think when you feel deeply, when you're more aware of yourself and what your thoughts are, you're more open to signs.
Yeah, and I see you all the time. We've talked before about how you not only have a lot of empathy for people, kind of an empath, like you can feel what other people are feeling. And I think that puts you even deeper into this, right? Because you had a lot of the feelings Hallie was feeling before she passed, like in what she was dealing with.
Like,
yeah, you could
just
tell.
Know they're struggling. You know when they're off. You know something's going on behind the scenes.
And you do it with the kids now, and you do it with my kids even. You just have a gift in that regard. And so you feel all the feels. And I have watched over the last 14 months, you go through all of the feelings. Like you cry, but it's not, I mean, you're crying some days for different reasons than other days because of all the different things that you're processing and feeling and sitting in. And I think you do that better than anyone. I don't know that I want to, but
only know
you do
me.
it.
You know what I mean? You only know yourself. And the other thing that I don't do is I don't numb. I don't numb. I don't drink. I don't try to fill a void with something else. I sit in it. And I feel it all. I sit in the pain every freaking minute. And I don't shy away from it. So I sit in silence. I talk to Hallie. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I see you do that. I see it. And it's absolutely impressive and something I think we all should strive for, because you are taking better care of yourself than you ever have, and probably allows you to connect with her more.
Yes, that is another reason. I am okay in the quiet. And a lot of people, I would say, are afraid of quiet, because in the quiet is when all of your thoughts happen. And that could be good or bad. And so I see a lot of people just surrounding themselves with friends 24/7. And that keeps the distraction going versus the quiet and thinking through. When it is silent, boy, I feel it the most.
Years ago.
It is the striking pain when it's still. But you have to feel that. You're going to feel it one time or another, one day or another. You're going to have to feel it. So, and it's weird because I crave the quiet, because I personally feel if I don't have the quiet, that all of the emotions like bottle up. Like I feel it building, and then you just feel like you're going to lose control versus like sitting in the quiet, feeling all the shit, and then letting that go and being able to then start your day new again.
Yeah. Several years ago, before you and I had met, Pastor Dave at the Crossing did a sermon, and he challenged people to go that week and not turn their radio on in their car and to sit in the silence. And that it is truly one of the most uncomfortable things that anybody can do. And I don't like doing it. But Angie does it. Like I get in her car and the radio's off, everything. Like I'll get in the car, turn it on the next day and everything's off. And I'm like, how does she drive like this for so long? But that's what she does.
I think and process.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where she works through it by really getting deep into it. And then again, trying to figure out how that she can help support and care for other women. And you've done that since I first met you. I mean, when I first met you, one of the things I really noticed right away, because I had dated women that didn't have a lot of female friends. And one of the things that I really found to be a positive about you and seemed like a trait that should be something I would want to hold on to is that you had a lot of women friends. Women were actually drawn to you and wanted to be around you. And that was a good thing. What would you say about that? And I know you always get a little sassy when that topic comes up. I mean, it's why you've created your women's event at your company. It's why you were so excited to be a part of this event with Jen. What would you say about that?
There's a lot I could say. I'm going to have to censor it because I could just go on a rant for it. But it goes back to when I got divorced. And, if anyone's ever been through a divorce, there's a lot of judgments. There's a lot of negativity. You lose friends. I would challenge if they really were friends, if you lost them through the divorce. But I fought through all that because I wanted women to see that you can make it. You can be independent. You can fight for yourself. You can set boundaries and still move forward. That doesn't mean never be in a relationship. When I say independent, I mean like a whole person, like you're not codependent on another person or reliant on other people around you. And that's why I feel like women are drawn to me. It's why I love being around powerful women as well. I love helping other women. It's like a light bulb goes off when they recognize that they are stronger than what they think. And it's just like this whole grief journey with losing Hallie. I think what also gets me up every day is I want other women to see me and think, oh my gosh, if she can get through that and still stand up every day, then I can get through what I'm going through. And I think that's what women need. They need someone to usher them along. I had women usher me along when I was going through my divorce, and you'll never forget it. Like there's always this powerful connection, and I've seen it help so many women to know that they got another person in their corner. And it's funny, I sort of laugh about it when I reflect back of just like going through divorce in those 5 or 6 years that I was living by myself, doing my own thing, successful, all that stuff. And if a woman would start like hanging out with me, some husbands have a problem with that.
They were concerned about like, what that meant.
Yeah, concerned, like, oh shit, which just makes me smile a little bit because it's like, what are you afraid of? Like, you're scared of what a strong female looks like.
I mean, a lot of men are.
I mean,
unfortunately,
yes, I know.
A lot of men are.
It's like, what the hell? Like, that should be hot. Instead, it's like,
oh, honey, it's hot.
They don't want to. Don't get me started. But when you can get back up from whatever has brought you down, it's unbelievable how much courage and strength that gives you, but also other women that might be watching, going, oh shit, if she can do that and get through that, that gives me a little bit more strength to get through what I'm going through. And I'll say too, it's why Hallie's boyfriend didn't care for me either. I mean, he wanted to pull her away because he knew if Hallie spent way too much time with me, she just might.
Or other strong women.
Yes.
Yeah.
She just might gain too much insight into what it's like to not put your worth in someone else's hands of another flawed human, to be a whole person and not rely on anyone but the big guy upstairs. Because I will tell you that my worth and value does not come from a human that might be flawed, that might tear me down instead of lifting me up. Eric's amazing husband. He lifts me up every day. But I do not put my value and my worth in his hands. I don't.
She does not. That's fair.
And I would highly recommend you do the same thing. Like, it's your faith. It's that knowing that God created you. I'm not going through life wondering what Eric Brimmer thinks of my worth. And that's not a negative thing. That's a healthy thing.
I get it. Yeah.
You should not put your worth and your value in my hands.
That's
either.
true. I have more work to do on that than you.
Yes,
you're
you
there,
do.
but I do.
Because I'm a flawed human. Like God created you, not
honey,
for you.
You're so perfect.
Oh, God.
She's not. She really isn't. She is flawed. But I know what she's saying, and she's right. Like the more whole you are, the better it is for your relationships to thrive, no matter what they are, where they are. So completely get what you're saying, agree with what you're saying. And I think at the end of the day, it is part of why you fight so hard all the time.
I mean, I wouldn't tolerate that. I would not tolerate being in a relationship where you are devalued. And so you shouldn't either. You shouldn't either. Don't allow that. Like, you matter. Your feathers matter. You matter. You're beautiful. You're strong. No.
If someone's not treating you that way, what would Hallie say to that person?
Go have the day that you deserve.
Move on.
Move on, because your worth and your value isn't what God created you for, not what someone else thinks of you.
I am really...
That's my rant for the day.
It's fine. Done. Love it. You did a great job.
I had an amazing weekend. Thanks, Jen, for trusting me to plan your events. I look forward to many more. And
I felt like Hallie showed up, and it's awesome.
And for all women out there, like, you are beautiful and strong, and you matter.
And she means it. I mean, it's not lip service.
If
she
you're
means
questioning that, just message me on social media and we'll have a little chat.
Yeah, for sure. So that was Angie's trip and why she was gone last weekend. But she's back and in full force, and our home is super glad to have her. Our home, I say this all the time, we have a beautiful house, but that is all that it is when Angie is not here. Angie makes everything home. And so for me and our kids, it becomes home when she is here. So we're glad to have her, and so glad that she was able to fill her cup up a little bit during a time where she is still in so much pain. So super proud of you too. Let me just say that.
Thank you.
I know you put a lot of work in. Super proud of you. We always continue to love the fact that you listen, that you reach out, that you let us know where you're at as far as your grief journey or your blended family journey. So please feel free to continue to do that so that we can connect with you, build this community that is so crazy, whether it is blending a family or the loss of a child. And it just, we need you a lot as well. So thanks again for listening this week. We hope you have a wonderful week, and God bless.
Thank you for listening to Blended Blessed and Always a Mess. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and at blendedblessedalwaysamess.com.
Reach out to us on any of our social channels. We would love to hear from you. Have a great week.